Hello, and welcome back to the 35th episode of the Nifty Cauldron podcast. I'm your host, Milan, and joined, as always, by my lovely co-host,
Kelly.
No dab this week.
Oh, dab. Okay. My bad.
Yeah, if you like what we do, if you like to listen to our banter, if you want to hear more of it, leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell, leave a comment, check out our streams. It's all in the description down below. With that said, though, how are you, Kelly? I know you had quite a long stream recently, even though at the time of recording this, at least.
Yeah. So at the time of recording this, my subathon was last Sunday. I started it Sunday. That was right. Okay. Yeah. So I did a subathon. It was to celebrate my 1 year streaming anniversary. It's easy for me to kind of stream over Labor Day, but I think actually my making affiliate is actually in 3 days, I think. But either way, so it was my streamiversary on Twitch, and so I did a little subathon to celebrate. My birthday was back on May 10th, and it felt really, to me, like very out of integrity to do both, like a stream, like a subathon for my birthday as well as my stream anniversary, just because they're so close together that I decided to just kind of focus fire and do like a combo. So we did that subathon, and then we had I had like a really good turnout. I was really happy with it, really stoked. A lot of people came out to support me and my Twitch journey, and it made me feel very good about myself, which is strange because normally I'm crippled by self-loathing.
True. I mean, first of all, way to drag me for doing a birthday stream and a Christmas stream. First of all, let's just start there.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, dog.
No, but I totally get what you mean, though. Like, obviously, the Christmas birthday thing aside, a birthday and a stream anniversary are more personal things, whereas the Christmas is just a holiday thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. I honestly didn't even think I was even low-key dragging you.
No, I know. It's just the low-hanging fruit joke, right? Yeah.
Pick up your fruit, pussy, bro. I don't know.
You went for the full 24 hours, correct?
Yeah. So I found this neat little marathon timer online, and then I put that little marathon timer on the screen. Yeah, the screen, so that everybody could see, what the time was and stuff. And then I had a command that would basically tell everybody how much time went for what thing. And I set a max of 24 hours. I was like, I don't want to do any more than 24 hours. It's fine, but here's what the rates are. And I think we got to like 17 hours within the first 2 hours of the stream. So I was like, shit.
The timer started at like 4 hours, I believe, right?
Yes. So the timer was at 4 hours, and I was like, shit, okay, wow, this is going a little crazy. We're going to like nerf the time a little tiny bit. I kind of low key regret nerfing the time just because I felt like it felt like a cash grab, but it's just because I didn't actually want to do the full 24 hours, bro.
So what were your rates like before the nerf and after?
Okay. So basically it was like one sub would be adding 10 minutes, I think. And then everybody went too fucking crazy, and I was like, okay, I'm going to half the time. So then one sub went to 5 minutes, and then biddies, every 100 biddies or whatever, would put 2 minutes on the clock. But then everybody literally went fucking crazy. So I was like, oh, fuck, like, I'm going to die. Pantera blast beats. And we ended up hitting the 24-hour mark anyway, so now I feel bad. Like, I genuinely actually feel, like, bad and, like, scummy about it, but it was just because I was low-key, like, trying to not kill myself. But I ended up killing myself anyway, so Lamau.
Yeah. No, I remember definitely, like, talking to you about it. I think, weren't you initially considering even more than 10 minutes per sub?
Yeah, I was thinking that not that many people would come, so I was thinking about maybe like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, regardless, you would have hit it anyway. Because you and I, like, you never came to a conclusion when we talked about it, because we talked about like a week or two prior, like, hey, what do you have planned? Yeah. And I think I believe I was throwing out ideas to like maybe like 2 minutes per sub, or like 2.5 minutes. Maybe even less, I think, and just like start, like have the base timer start higher to kind of compensate, right? Like start at 8 hours, but every sub only adds like 2.5 minutes or something. And then you should up at 10. I'm like, oh, mistakes were made that day.
To be fair, that was the suggested default on the marathon timer. So I was like, okay, like this is probably, the generic basic algorithm.
I mean, sure, but you have to understand though that like 7% of streamers stream to 0 and one person, right? So it's a little bit skewed, I think. If
Yeah. I mean, clearly it was, because it ended up going like I think we made it to the full 24 hours at like the 5-hour mark or something like that.
Yeah, very, very early.
So I streamed for 24 hours.
Would you have done something different? Like if you had to do it again, let's say tomorrow, would you do anything differently?
I would set the max probably at 16.
But you would keep the same rates? The post nerf, I guess.
The post nerf rate. Yeah. The post nerf rate of like the 5 minutes per sub, just because the 24 hours is actually like pretty brutal. I was feeling pretty fine until literally like the 20th hour. I hit the hardest wall of my entire fucking life.
Yeah, that is very common to hit the wall around 20 hours. And at that point, you're kind of banking on adrenaline, like give you a second wind.
Yep.
But your body is just crashing because it's like, I can't anymore.
Another thing I would do is I probably wouldn't have ripped that fucking monster too early. I probably would have waited a little longer, but I just honestly, I think I drank it for taste because it was just delicious.
I don't think you expect it to crash that hard. So you're like, it's fine.
It's fine. Exactly. Because I was still kind of banking on like, I still have like a pretty low caffeine tolerance. Like I'll be all right. But yeah, on the 20th hour, I hit the fucking wall of my life. I like was dying. So I ended up taking, I think I took like half a caffeine pill, which is 100 milligrams of caffeine, which is like a really strong cup of coffee, a very, very, very strong cup of coffee, like 3/4 of a Monster or something like that. I can't remember how much caffeine's in a Monster. It's half a Rockstar. So I drank half a Rockstar just to kind of take me through the last 4 hours. And that ended up fine. That ended up being what I needed. I just caffeined like a little bit up, tiny up, and then I was able to kind of make the remaining 4 hours. But my also big mistake was trying to do stuff that was like not very visually stimulating, because then my brain was just like, oh yeah, real sleepy time hours. And it started just systematically shutting down. Like the sentient controller of my brain was just starting to flip all the switches into the off position. And then I was just like, bleh.
Yeah, no, I was really surprised, I think specifically about when you booted up My Time in Porsche.
Oh yeah,
because life sims for me are so calming. I've fallen asleep while playing a life sim. Like I will just doze off in my chair. Yeah, it's just so autopilot, right? But I totally get what you mean. Because
normally life sims are pretty engaging for me, and I'm able to like play them without like realizing it's been like 6 hours and I haven't eaten kind of thing. But because that day I hit the wall of my life, and the soft soothing music, I was like, oh no, this was a mistake. And so I ended up I think for the last couple hours, I just switched to just chatting and then just talk to chat and having like that back and forth and having my brain have to think about responding and how to respond to something like that. That ended up like carrying me through. Plus the caffeine pill. Shout out to your boy Caffeine Pill.
Yeah. I mean, from a viewer perspective, you could definitely tell last couple of hours were rough. Like, you were like
slurring my words. I was like slurring my words because my mouth. I was so tired that like my mouth didn't want to work and like enunciate anymore. Like my tongue felt like it was just like a swollen cotton ball in my mouth from all the like energy drinks that I drank. Like all the sugar just burnt it to a crisp, and it just felt like an unmoistened cotton ball just rolling around my mouth. So I just started just slurring all my words. I'm pretty sure I sounded drunk when I was like not drunk. I was just tired. Yeah,
but you could tell that you sounded tired, right? Like your voice was, I don't want to say like droopy, but it wasn't like as energetic. It was being forced out just because you had to be alive right now kind of situation, Yeah,
dude. And like you could also tell I was really tired because like, I swear to God, I feel like one of my eyes was a little bit faster at blinking than the other or something.
You would blink a little bit too long sometimes.
Yeah, I would do like the long blink, you know,
the little micro sleep, just sneak it in there.
Sneak it in there. Everybody, because I had to take a lot of breaks because like I was drinking a shit ton of energy drinks, and so I had to piss constantly. And then people were like, they left to go like take a fucking micro nap.
Yeah, I mean in general, I don't know how common it is. I guess it's something you and I have in common. If I stay up too late or too long, one, I get very cold, and I know that's a bodily reaction to your body telling you, like, hey, get the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, I got freezing.
But I have to pee constantly, like every 20 minutes. I just have a full bladder. It's just like unleash the floodgates, even if I'm not drinking. And I always associate it with like staying up late, but I've never heard anyone else complain about it.
Yeah, me, bro. I had to like constantly miss, but I don't know if that was because I was just freebasing energy drinks or because I had to pee because I just felt so tired all the time. Did
you consider sleeping on stream at all? Like as in to? Like,
I did, but none of my mods were active. All my mods had passed out. So.
Yeah, I mean, I left pretty early, and I know you want to play Divinity, but I'm like, bro, by the time you end, I have to go live for my streams. Like, I can't really fit it in along with like dinner and sleep. So like, I can't be here.
Yeah, no. So yeah, all my mods were asleep. So I didn't have any active mods that could like run a video while I was sleeping or anything like that. So I just was like, fuck it. We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it live, Scoob.
Yeah. I mean, you did. Just good.
Worked out.
Yeah,
it worked
for
out,
sure.
But I will. Yeah, it's so funny because like I think about it and I'm like, oh man, like when you asked me like, is there anything you would change about it? And my first instinct was to be like, no, it's fine. But then I think back about it and I relived like the just pure exhaustion, and I'm like, oh, maybe I would nerf it to 16 hours. But I feel like the subathon to me was like, when like moms have like kids and shit. And like they, go through the labor of childbirth, and they're like, "Oh God, it was so fucking terrible. It's the most painful thing in my entire life." But then, like, eventually, you like, you kind of get over it. And like, for example, my sister, right? She had a baby. Hazel's like a year and a half, and then she looks at old pictures of Hazel, or she looks at old pictures of like her little hat, and she'll be like, "Oh, she's so small and so cute. I want another one." But like, it's because like your mind just mind bleached the fucking agony of childbirth. And so you're just like, yeah, I want that. It's like, that's me. I feel like the subathon was like my baby or something. And like, I think back on it and I'm like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. But like in the moment, it was really fucking bad.
Yeah, no, like, I can definitely, because it's the kind of, in the moment it sucked. I mean, it sucked to a degree. Obviously, you still had a good time.
Was the 20th hour. At the 20th hour, exactly. I fucking died.
But then afterwards, like, it's just also the feeling of accomplishment, right? And being proud that you did it and that it was a success. People had fun. So looking back on it is easier when you're not forcing yourself awake by sheer willpower and caffeine,
Yeah, exactly. Like I think back on it and I was like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. But like in the moment, I was like, damn. I go back and I read the messages that I sent you on the side, and I'm just like, I'm dying.
Basically, literally every time to semi-dox you, like you went on a break, you were just like, I'm fucking dying, dude. Like, help me, please. I can't do this anymore.
But then, yeah, I look back at it and I'm like, nah, I'm fine. It was fine. It wasn't that bad. But then, like, in the moment, I was just fucking dying. So, yeah, the subathon, basically, the high of defeating the subathon has mind bleached the agony of the subathon in my mind. And so, like, my body's just like, I'm ready to go again. But also, I don't want to, like, abuse it, obviously. I have a subathon, like, all the time. So, I really think
if you do it all the time, it wouldn't be special.
No, it wouldn't. And that's why, like, I'm just going to specifically reserve it for probably just like once a year where I celebrate my Twitch anniversary / birthday and we do the subathon, and that's pretty much it.
I'm of the same mind. I would only maybe change it up if you hit partner, right? Then that becomes your new day to celebrate as opposed to just when you started on Twitch.
Yeah, if I ever make partner.
I mean,
they're super selective. They're super selective now of who makes partner now.
Because a lot of things are important.
Yeah, and also just like the sheer inundation of everybody kind of coming to Twitch and doing their thing. So now it's like making partners harder because there's so many people that are like
Streaming as opposed to no, absolutely.
If only we got into streaming earlier, Milan.
I mean, there's no guarantee either way, right? It's also true. Like timing and like I guess mini tangent. Like you still feel grateful and you say you owe a lot of your success to like the Felicia Day raid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you had started earlier, you probably that would have never happened, right? Because you would have played that puppy game potentially earlier in your career. Therefore, those paths would have never crossed.
Oh, that's true.
Same with Chris, right? Like you were friends with her, but you hit her up because like, hey, she's streaming, but she started like a couple months earlier. So, but if you had already been streaming, you may never have hit her up, right?
That's true. That's a really good point.
But at the same time, it could have also been the opposite. You could have been, Pokemon level if you had started a couple years earlier. You never know, right? That's the what if scenario. At
the same time, I don't really want that. If you like can't even read chat, it's not even worth it anymore.
She's a multimillionaire. You shut your ass up. Like I'll sacrifice chat for that. Sorry, chat. I love you, but
that's true.
Look, at that level, I'll pay somebody to read chat for me. Just sit there on my stream 24/7, pick out the comments, read them to me. No, but I guess my advice to you, if you ever, when you do it again, I don't think it's an if.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Prepare differently, like in the sense of, like even if you cap it at 16 hours, I wouldn't like get caffeine and monsters. I would just get like peanuts, like just in general, like cashew nuts, dried fruit, bananas, just like natural sugars, so you don't ride that high up and down of like caffeine and sugar spikes, right?
At the same time, or you just continuously drink monsters, so you're just constantly spiking.
Sure. And potentially get a heart attack. I guess that's content too. Actually,
that's content.
Actually, I think you would get banned if you get a heart attack on stream.
How is that my fault?
I think technically it falls under self-harm.
I mean, maybe I just trusted my heart to do the thing, man. You don't know.
I don't know. It's
not gonna lie though. When I went to bed and I woke up because so after the subathon, I made it the full 24 hours. I hung out in Chris's chat for a little bit because it was Chris's birthday on the 31st. Mm-hmm. And then I also went into your chat for a little bit just to kind of hang out.
I was surprised you were alive.
And then I got yelled at by everybody to go to fuck to sleep. So then I went to go lay down and I slept for about like 3.5 hours. And then I woke up because I was too warm. Like it was really warm that day. And straight up, I had chest pains when I woke up.
Yeah, because you also didn't really eat properly. During that whole subathon, right?
Yeah. So I would honestly say that was probably my biggest mistake. I think the only thing I ate was a salad, and then I had like a small cup of mac and cheese.
Yeah, and that was early. That was early in the subathon. Like you had that salad before I went to sleep. Uh-huh. So that was.
I think I had the salad around 3 p.m. Yeah. And then I ate the mac and cheese around 9 or 10.
No, I think way sooner. Actually, that sounds right because I think you were eating it as I woke up. Yeah, but yeah. So I mean,
the mac and cheese then, and then I didn't eat.
Yeah.
But I ate before I went to bed because my stomach was so sour from just not eating anything and just the amount of like acidity in my stomach from fucking energy drinks and caffeine pills, bro.
Yeah, no, I absolutely get that. I mean, my subathon is coming up, sort of. It's like late August, so not really, but.
Are you gonna learn from my mistakes?
I mean, in general,
was I the guinea pig for you?
No, because you have objectively just you have a wider reach than I do. Like I don't expect as much turn up for mine, so I'll still have to like consider what my timer should be, like how much time I add per sub. However, I did decide to already to do an uncapped subathon.
Yeah, but who's gonna be like? That's fine, but also who is going to be awake to fucking run videos for you, bro?
I mean, you guys are.
I can't promise you that. I got work, bitch.
I mean, technically, I'll find somebody just because of virtue of it, of the time zones, right? Worst case, if it reaches that level of like post 24 hours and no mods are online, I'll have some VODs downloaded to just play. And just because I don't know, I think it will be
Someone
fine.
has to mod chat though, right?
Yeah, but we have a big enough community where I can mod somebody, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Because I'm not gonna sleep long. We all know this.
No, you're only gonna be out for like three hours tops.
Maybe like if I can even sleep on stream, like I don't know if that the feeling of being watched is gonna be too powerful.
Are you actually gonna be watched? Like people are gonna just watch you sleep like in bed? I thought you would just like run a video.
I mean, if I run a video, then sure, but then it's not really a subathon anymore, right? Like I'm not there. So
even if a mod ran a video for you, you're technically not there. You're off screen.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like if mods would be available, it would just be in Discord, just chilling, doing shit while I'm sleeping on stream.
All right, well, I mean, I'm happy to support you, but you have to plan it on a weekend, so I'm not like fucking at work. Otherwise,
yeah, I mean,
I can't.
No, of course, but in general, realistically, unless I boost my timer, I don't expect it to go even to go over 24 hours, because if it hits 24 hours, I'm not gonna sleep for the last couple, right? I'm just gonna push through.
No, you would just push through. Like
yeah, so the sleep would only really be, I don't know, if we hit the 30-hour mark, but I don't think we will unless I boost it. And then there's also, I guess, the psychological debate of people are excited to hit 24 hours, right? Like, because that's the end goal. Like 24 hours, we capped it. Are people really excited about hour 25? Like hour 25 is kind of like in comparison,
Well, if you actually advertise and say that is your end goal, then hour 25 might be a bigger thing. Like, oh, they're going above and beyond. Sure. But if you have a completely uncapped one and there's no specific quote unquote goal that they want to make.
Exactly.
Then,
it's so psychologically it's not as exciting because there's just, like I'll be there for as long as people want me to. And, but that could be 10 hours. That could be 20. That could be fucking 7 weeks in a row. Who the fuck knows? Right.
Yeah.
So it's something.
Me, it was really hard to gauge the turnout because like, I don't know. I've never done one before. The recommended amount was the recommended amount for me. And then I just didn't really have any sort of preconception of how it would go. And I mean, at least, not to sound like an asshole, but I mean, because you're going to be doing yours in August and stuff, you have at least mine to go off of for a baseline.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll definitely, talk to you behind the scenes about some things and like with the timer and stuff like that. And it's also just in consideration of like, okay, well, how many subs, like at that point, what's my average viewership? How many subs have I been getting the last couple of months to kind of like gauge what can I expect? Like, what are people's average subs a month? And then how much extra did they get on the subathon? Like, is there like a correlation, just to do some rough numbers?
I mean, it probably would be good for you also to circle up with like Chris, because I also had kind of Chris's as like a baseline for it because she did a 16-hour subathon, but I didn't ask her like about turnout. I just kind of asked her, like, how did 16 hours feel? And she was like, oh, it felt really long. And then I was like, well, I did that 17-hour stream that one day and that was fine. I didn't feel anything from that. But man, 24 hours is a whole nother beast, bro.
Your hubris.
That was literally my hubris.
It is like the 20-hour mark is a deal breaker for most people. And I would even say the 22-hour mark feels worse because you're so close.
Yeah.
But still so far away. Like 2 hours is so long at that point.
It is. That's where I was like losing. Like when I finally like felt committed to doing the rest of it was when it hit the hour 30 because it's like I can do that. That's just a Disney movie.
Yeah, no, I very specifically remember when you took a break and you were like, I can do it. It's only 3 more hours. And the time was it like 3 hours 56 minutes? Like, damn, you're really rounding down for your own sanity, huh? Like you were just ignoring 56 minutes just to help you get through it.
Yep, I literally just rounded down so that my fucking reptile brain was like, "This is good, unga bunga."
Yeah,
can't complete.
So no, it is absolutely true.
Yeah, but it's just like, since I made the sub goal of the 24 hours, I really felt obligated to push through, because it's like everybody came out, they did the thing, they did the thing, you know.
They paid for it.
They quite literally paid for it. So I was okay,
I agree.
I have to push through. And so that's how I feel. I was like literally obligated. Like nothing was going to make it so that I failed. A lot of people were just like, if you're tired, just end. And then you can just add like that hour, like a couple hours left onto like another stream or whatever. And I was just like, no, at that point I have to do it out of principle.
Yeah, no, like I said something similar to you. Like if you're really not feeling it, like there's obviously a level of like obligation versus health risk type of situation, right? Like if you really can make it, no, but you get what I mean, right? Like people shouldn't push themselves to a point where it's dangerous for them.
For sure, but at the same time, YOLO.
No, I know, but let's say you were in your hubris, you were like, fuck it, I'll uncap it, and it hit like 4 days. At some point, you have to leave, right? You can't just be like, fuck it, you know?
No, I got work.
No, but hypothetically. But other than that, I do agree, because like, who's to say that if there wasn't a 24-hour cap, if the cap was 16 hours, who's to say those people who donated for the last 8 hours would have donated, right, in that situation? So it's quite literally a case. So yeah, like they paid for it. It'd be really bad to like bail. So I definitely agree with you there, that I would feel a similar sense of like, oh ship. Is that a word? No, oh ship's not a word, right?
Oh ship?
Yeah, obligation. No. Let's go with obligation.
It's just obligation, yeah. For sure. So I felt obligated to finish, and I did, because I pushed through, because I wanted to be good to, I don't want to say my fans, because I don't like calling people fans, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say that they are fans of me. I would just say that they tolerate me. So I wanted to push through for the people in the community. There you go. That's a good way to say it. Because I don't like the word fans. I don't want to say I have fans. That's weird.
I think you have fans once you become out of touch with your community. Like once there's so many people that watch you or follow you that you don't recognize most of them, right? That makes sense. Like if you have 10,000 people watching you, you don't know 99% of them. So at that point, they're your fans. Like it's not a community anymore to you.
That's a good metric for that. But yeah, I would say that I don't want to have fans. I have a community, and I love my community, and so I pushed through for the community, and I wanted to make sure that they knew that I saw them and that they felt heard, and that I was going to meet my obligations in regards to my promises. So because keeping my promises is super important to me.
Exactly, because it's your first one, right? So it kind of sets a precedent as well.
You can't be a fucking quitter on your first subathon, bro. Like, come on.
You can, but
no.
I mean, I would say if anything, that's kind of the only one where you get to be a quitter, because you're diving in head first, like you don't know what to expect.
Nah.
Right. But
I ain't no quitter.
Well, I mean, next one is going to cap at 16 hours, so 24 is too much, right?
Maybe I'll hate myself and make it 24 because I got that baby brain now, that subathon baby brain, and I put it back at 24, and then I'm at the 20th hour again, and I'm low-key dreading my entire life decisions, but then I push through, and then I still get baby brain again, and I just keep doing 24-hour streams because I hate myself.
Just whenever you get baby brain, just like rewatch the VOD of the subathons. See how you feel after.
Oh God. Yeah.
No, for sure. But I guess interestingly, on a similar note about feeling obligated and like giving back to the community, how do you feel about that in general? Like if somebody makes something for you or buys you like a video game or whatever, like do you feel like obligated to like play it on stream? Or
yes I feel obligated to play it on stream,
even if you don't have any interest in the game, or like if you don't like it?
I mean, if I don't have any interest in the game, then no, I probably won't. But if they bought me something and I have interest in it and I'm gonna play it, I will try to stream it for the most part. But if it's kind of like a longer like RPG kind of thing, and it's gonna take like a lot of grinding off screen, it's gonna take like a lot of this and a lot of that, or it might be a little boring content wise for people that come to my stream for like certain things. I don't even know what people come to my stream for at this point. Just fucking
Dimples.
random dick jokes and dimples. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I actually don't know what content is the favorite content.
I
would
feel
have to do like
the
a
same way.
survey. I have to do a fucking survey. I don't fucking know. So it's like if it happened to be like something that like chat normally doesn't vibe with or whatever, then I would just finish it off screen, which is what I did with Baldur's Gate, because I noticed that when I was playing Baldur's Gate, people stopped saying anything in chat. So I was just literally streaming nothing to no one. I mean, I had viewers, but no one was really saying anything. So I was just like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm just going to stop streaming this because it's not entertaining. There's no chat interaction. So I'm just going to beat it off screen. But that was a game that was my guilty pleasure. I wanted to play Baldur's Gate because I love the Baldur's Gate series. So that 100% was for me. And I realized chat wasn't vibing with it, and I stopped playing it on stream.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Would you say, I don't even imagine you've thought about it, but if there's like a certain cutoff point, like, oh, well, the game was only $5, I don't feel obligated, versus, oh, this game is $60, I feel more obligated because it's more expensive to play it on stream, or something, versus like, hey, they've been in the community for like 10 months versus they only joined like 2 weeks ago, or, you know.
I would say like duration is important for me, less about like the duration of, you know, like the monetary value of it. I would say like that's not really too important to me, but I would say the duration of the game would be like, if someone gifts me like 100-hour game, playing that on stream is not really feasible because people are eventually just get tired of it. They're gonna get bored. They're not gonna say anything, and they kind of like move on. So it's like playing 100-hour game for me with no feedback from chat. That's gonna be a no for me on a streaming aspect. But I'll still play it probably just like off screen. But I will say, like, if somebody that just joined the community gifted me a game, but somebody that had been in the community for longer gifted me a game, I would probably play the game that the person that has been in the community longer first.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
But if I had no interest in the game, then I'd be like, I'm not going to play that, and then I would just like refuse the gift. Because you can do that. If someone gifts you something on Steam, you can just decline the gift. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they can just gift it again, and it's an endless loop. But
you just keep declining.
Yeah, it's definitely a case
it's way more steps for them to keep gifting than for me to hit one button that says decline.
That is very true. No, I'm definitely much in like the same boat. Sometimes I also feel bad. So I mean, I don't get gifted a lot of games, and the ones I do.
Well, that's because you're in Europe, and it's impossible for people from the U.S. to gift you games, dude. It's a pain in the fucking ass.
It is. I still fondly remember the fucking relay race of Monster Hunter Rise, but but you know, that aside, like typically the games I get gifted aren't like out of nowhere. It's a game we'll either be discussing that somebody played, and I'll mention, well, yeah, like that seems interesting, or I've always wanted to play it.
Yeah.
I do feel bad about what's the best way maybe to word this. So, if you have something outside of the community, like let's say emotes, right? Like I commissioned my emotes from Fiverr. I love them. And ideally, for as long as I'm streaming, as long as this thing exists, I want to stick to that artist. Period. Right. Mm-hmm. And then I sometimes feel kind of bad because we have a bunch of amazing artists in the community, right? That no matter how amazing their art is, like I'm not going to commission them because it's not consistent, right?
Yeah. No, it's weird to have like 5 emotes by one artist and then have one that's not by not by somebody else. Like exactly. For sure. I definitely get that. And that's why recently when I did a rework on all my emotes, like I definitely put the ones that were, you know, by the same artist on one. And then when I had like a few spaces that were, you know, that I could put the ones by the previous artist, I ended up just using ones that were a little more quote unquote like generic. So they wouldn't necessarily, you know, like look
clash.
clash together when you're looking at, you go and you click the little fucking streamer, whatever the fuck, like streamer thingy where you go and you look at like, the fucking.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
emotes.
yeah.
I can't talk right now, bro.
Like ultimately, it's all about brand continuity, right? Like just having to be cohesive, right? Not all over the place. Like I do think there's definitely like exceptions. Like you can have your emotes by one person, but maybe you do your merch by another, and so on. But yeah, like that is something I feel a little bit bad about. That I can't like support the people in that way. Like, yeah, I mean, I love your art and all that, but it doesn't match what I want to do. And there's like no real nice way to say that without the other person potentially feeling bad,
But that's like if they make you an emote, then you just take it and you put it on the Discord. That's why it's there, and people on the Discord can use it. And it's not that, but there is a an idea of like brand cohesion and having your emotes be by the same person, because otherwise it kind of looks like it's a little hodgepodged and stuff like that. Like it makes sense if like you have necessarily like an emote that is like it's like humans, but then you have emotes that are maybe like an animal, and so your animal emote is probably maybe drawn by somebody else, but it's not that big and it's not that jarring because like it's not a human, so it's not like an apples to apples kind of comparison. It's more of like an apples to oranges, and so you can like see the orange and be like, oh yes, that's an orange, and this is the apple, and you can like disassociate. But it's when like you have like very different stylistic in the exact same, they're drawing the same kind of concepts. That's when like it's kind of like more jarring for me, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit convoluted, I think, but to me it totally makes sense. It totally tracks. Let us know in the comments if any of that didn't make any sense, and we won't clarify, but we'll give it a thumbs up. I promise.
Yep, I'll be sure to go back and like that shit.
Yeah, no, it's very weird. So, like, are there some things that you don't feel obligated about at all, or like you owe your viewers something where maybe like you should, but you're just like, no, like that's stupid. I know that's a very vague question. I don't know where I'm going with this.
That's such a vague question. You'd have to give me like a specific instance that you've either like seen or heard about so I can like relate to it. But like saying, it's like that little kid that goes like, have you ever dreamed and then the dream and then the Twitch and then your viewers, and I'm just like, what? I'm not comprehending right now, bro.
To be honest, I do love that kid though.
That's me right now. I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
I don't have an example at the ready. Well, I guess maybe a similar branch off of it. Kind of like if you get rated at the end of a stream, you feel obligated to keep streaming, right?
Yeah, I'll try to go for like another like 20-30 minutes. But like, if someone's like stream for another hour, I'd probably be like, haha, lick my ass, I'm tired.
But do you ever feel obligated, like when chat like rallies for you to like try and stream more, or you're like
no,
nah, dude?
No, you know what? That's a good example, because you literally got guilted into fucking continuing your fucking Nier playthrough because it was someone's fucking birthday. And
it was
like,
Paul's birthday. He's like, you didn't give me a gift because you're broke. Like, fuck, he's right.
Yeah. So like there, that would make you feel guilty. But for me, I'll just be like, I'll fucking buy you a $5 game on fucking Steam and you can lick my ass. Goodbye.
Fair. Yeah, no, like, I mean, I guess for me personally, I guess that guilt / obligation, even though Paul wouldn't have cared either way, like he wouldn't have.
No, he was just teasing. He was
just joking. Yeah. It's because I feel like I can't really give back in many ways to the community because, I don't do community nights. I don't have anime night. Like I don't have anything like that. So me streaming, it's all I got. So
yeah,
the only way to give back is to do more of it, I guess.
Yeah. No, for sure. Okay, that makes sense for like you specifically, but I guess for me, okay, so I guess this is how I'm going to define it, I suppose. It's like for you, time is a resource, right?
Yes.
Time is a resource, 100% a resource. And I would say when it comes to time, you have a little bit more of that resource than I do because I'm splitting
only a little bit, like maybe like an hour or two more a week. You're not that busy.
Not at all. So, but I'm splitting my carrots like by like 69 farmers right now. Like I don't have a lot of time. Nice. So then when it comes to me, it's just like I'm very much, because I have to shelter my time because I don't have a lot of it. I stretch myself very fucking thin. And so for me, when it comes to time, I can put my foot down and just be like, nope, I don't have that resource. I'm tapped out, Scoob. No. Versus like you, I feel like maybe you feel like you don't have an excuse. Like you're just like, well, I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything tomorrow, so I could just push through kind of thing. While me, I'm just like, I got work. I got a fucking paper I got to write. No.
Yeah. Kind of no, it's definitely a case of like, well, I'm tired, but it's fine if I get 2 less hours of sleep because I don't have to
anything,
be up early or anything going on tomorrow, that's time sensitive tomorrow that requires like 100% of my energy kind of situation. No, for sure. Obviously depression kicks my ass every day, so it's a little bit of that, but that is not an obligation, right? So I think if that wasn't the case, I would probably stream every day for like 8 to 12 hours. But
yeah, I mean, no, I get it. And just I don't have very many carrots, my dude, so I got to be really conservative of where I send my carrots.
Yeah, no, for sure. I feel like I have the one carrot, and I have to pick and choose where it goes. But I don't know. I definitely do feel obligated in that sense, even though I shouldn't be, right? Because it's a two-way street, right? Like, I would say, to put it very crudely, as a streamer, you don't really owe your viewers anything, and your viewers don't owe you anything. Because your entertainment, right? Like if you're bad content, they'll leave, right? So in that sense, So in that sense, you don't. In the same way, just because somebody subs doesn't mean you have to dance them like a monkey, right?
Yeah, you have to have boundaries. Is the TLDR. It's like, it's okay to have boundaries. You should have boundaries. It's just like the same thing. It's like if someone was sub to me and, like they unsub for one reason or another. Maybe they're going through some hard financial times. Maybe they can't justify the $4.99. Maybe they're just like, they're not that worth it. I don't want to give them money anymore. That's fine. That's totally fine. I totally respect that. I'm not going to like be shitty, ask you why you unsubbed or anything like that. Like, that's just not, like everybody's got their own circumstances and conditions in life. And it's kind of shitty that you are so invasive and intrusive upon it. So it's like, I don't feel some kind of way. Like if you, obviously, like I know that you're in tight financial circumstances. And if you had to unsub from my stream, I wouldn't feel some kind of way about it because I know about your situation and your conditions, and that's totally fine with me. But it's the same thing if like, other people had to unsub for my stream. That's fine too. I get it. I don't feel some kind of way about it. It's like at the end of the day, I'm just glad that I can chill and you're still here and you want to talk to me and we're good.
Oh, thank God. Quickly, like, let me unsub real quick. No, I wouldn't.
You just need that go ahead? Well, you have my permission, my dude. Go ahead, my dude.
And I guess to piggyback off of that, I feel the exact same way. And even as a PSA to a regular listening who's maybe considering it or who has unsubbed, you don't have to make it a big deal. You don't even have to mention anything. We'll never call you out. You don't have to explain yourself.
I will never fucking call you out.
You don't have to feel bad either. Just you being there chilling is more than enough support.
We love our lurkers. Exactly. We love the people. We love our chatters. We love our subs. Just as long as you're here, you're part of the community, and you're not being a petulant little fucking shit, you're fine.
Yeah. I guess similarly, have you ever been in a situation where you felt guilty for unsubbing from someone and then maybe even avoided their streams because you didn't want them to notice?
Yeah. Well, no, I never avoid their streams because I don't want them to notice, but I don't feel that kind of way. But I do feel some kind of way because, like I'm not swimming in money. Okay, I'm not by any means well off. Like I'm definitely, I would even say I'm not even really comfortable. I would say I'm not at the poverty line. I get by, basically. I get by. I skate. Like, I'm not living paycheck to paycheck. I may be saving, like a couple $100 a month or something like that.
You don't
If
have to
that.
worry about your bills or food, but it's not like you can just spend willy-nilly without checking your bank account.
That is a perfect synopsis of my exact situation. It's like I can meet my bills, I can meet my baseline, but I'm not spending my money all willy-nilly like I'm not spraying my fucking seed everywhere and coming on everybody's tummies. Like I definitely am a little more reserved with my monetary resource.
Yeah, you don't have that money shot, so to speak.
I don't got that money shot, girl. Like I'm trying to chill. And so for me, it's like it's hard because it's like a lot of my friends started streaming, but I just don't have the financial means to like support them, you know, because the biggest thing that you can do in order to support a content creator is to subscribe to them. Is either, you know, like
it's the most tangible, like for Twitch, showing up is support, I would say, but the most tangible, graspable thing is a sub.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't really have the means to just subscribe to like all my friends that are streaming on Twitch. Like I have to be very reserved about how I treat my money, and I wish I could support all my friends and like go to their stream and also just go to their streams and show up all the time, but it's like I also don't have a lot of that carrot resource, bro, that time.
As a quick addendum to that, so to all streamer friends out there, I love you all. Stream because you love it. Do you please don't all fucking stream at the same time. I can't watch 18 people at once. Please, please, just
can you coordinate together about your timelines?
Can like some of you live in a different time zone, so this can all work nicely.
Yeah, I mean, usually I'm at least dual wielding streams for the most part.
Yeah, exactly, right. Open. But that's kind of like 2 or 3 is kind of the cap, especially more than 2 browser or more than 2 streams. Twitch doesn't count you as a viewer anymore in the third one.
Yep.
So
exactly. So yeah, I do feel guilty that there's a lot of friends that I just can't subscribe to. And I try to justify on like, if they're creating content, you know? So it's like, if you aren't streaming that often, you know, I might reserve subscribing just because I feel, you know, like I should be more mindful of my money resource and stuff. So it's like, if you're not really creating too much content, then I might, you know, just forego subscribing just because I don't know.
Yeah. Like if somebody streams every day, more of a full-time thing versus somebody that has a full-time job and streams once a month, it's kind of like, if I have to choose between the two, it does make more sense to sub to the one that does it every day.
You know, that's doing it every day. That's like hustling really hard and stuff like that. Granted, the other person, like, you know, maybe they are hustling, you know, and stuff like that. Of course,
I'm not taking that away. Of course.
Yeah, you just have to like weigh everything out. And as shitty as that is, because I hate it. Like, I wish that I had just like I lived more comfortably and I had the money and I could just support all my friends because I do care about them and I want them to do well and I want them to feel good. But I just don't have that many resources, and I definitely don't have that much time to watch every single person's stream and stuff. But, you know, it does make me feel bad. It does make me feel like I'm a shitty friend, but I already have low self-esteem anyway. So fuck it.
I mean, same. No, I feel the exact same. Like, for full disclosure, I'm only sub to you. Just flat out. You're my only sub.
You don't have money.
No, I know.
Money, bitch.
I know. But like, so I do feel bad that I can't sub to friends and people from the community and stuff like that, because especially if they're sub to me, I at least want to return the favor kind of situation.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
But I mean, luckily the community definitely knows about me not having any money. It's not like a topic I shy away from, or that's like a well kept secret or something. So I think most people understand. Exactly. Right. But it's definitely like, I wish I could just sub more freely and show that support and like use emotes and, you know, things of that nature. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. I feel it. I feel it in my fucking bones, Scoob. That's so, yeah, that hits home. But, man, well, now I feel bad about myself. What else do you want to talk about while I just sit here feeling bad?
Do you want to end on a hot take, perhaps?
Sure. Let's end on a hot take. Let's get something I can get mad about, so then, you know, I can let go of these sad, feels bad, man.
I was gonna make a very crass joke for a segue, but let's not.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, like, because look at something I can get mad about. I don't think I can follow with the gays. Like that's not, you know. But for more tact, specifically the new tags that Twitch has implemented.
You said something like I think like it was said that there was like over 170 new tags. I haven't looked at them.
I haven't looked through the list either because I don't. So I specifically I need to look into if the tag mechanic changed, because how it was, at least it might still be the case that this is the way, but Twitch only looks at your first 5 tags. So anything beyond that doesn't matter. So if you have like, you know, first playthrough, no spoilers, English, and usually I have like AMA and like stand-up comedian because I'm fucking hilarious, bro. Like that's 5 right there, right? So it's like I don't really care about, but I don't know if they increase that limit now that they added so many more tags or not.
Oh, I didn't even know that they only looked at the first 5.
Yeah, like that's why sometimes when you're like changing your game, or just like in OBS next time, when you like select your game,
it deletes all the previous tags and then puts the new ones in.
But like when you update it, just hit update again. Oftentimes it'll just randomize like a couple of tags. It'll go through them because you're over 5, so it'll like randomize the order.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't actually notice that. Well, I mean, notice that it would delete everything, but I didn't know that it would like actually reshuffle them too. I guess
because you know it'll autofill tags, right? If you're playing an RPG action game, it'll add those tags as well, just by default. And it tries to be smart. Like if you have first playthrough in your title, I think it tries to, you know, put that as a tag as well and stuff like that. So it's getting there. But no, the hot take specifically, and I'm just going to come out and say it. If you're an ally, don't use the LGBT tag. It is not made for you. You're only hindering people who need that tag, visibility, and to find each other and to support each other. Stop it.
As someone that is part of the LGBTQIA community, I agree. You shouldn't be using the tag if you're an ally, because the A in LGBTQIA plus stands for asexual, does not stand for allyship. You shouldn't be using that tag, because that's honestly when I go and I raid somebody, and if I'm not raiding like a friend, someone that I know personally, I typically like to raid another streamer that's in the LGBTQIA community, because it's an important aspect of me and I guess my life, you know, kind of thing. And I would like to pay it forward. I would like to find more people. That's actually how I ended up finding Lady Buggy, because I looked for somebody that was specifically playing Phasmophobia with that tag. And so I went and I looked and I rated her, and I specifically am looking for people with that tag. And when you put it in there, it confuses people that are legitimately trying to find other people in their community to connect. And so you shouldn't be using it if you are an ally. And for the love of God, it's fucking Pride Month. So being an ally should be the baseline. It doesn't cost you anything to not be a homophobic piece of shit. God damn it.
Like that is baseline human decency. And, you know, I don't want to call specific people. I don't have any specific people in mind, but I feel if you're using, because let's be real, using that tag works to get viewers, because people get misled, right? Like if you're not part of the community but you use that tag, you're going to get some people, and a lot of people are too polite to ask, you know. Like for like in my stream, it's my sexuality has never been questioned or brought up.
Yeah.
So, you know, but if I had that tag, people would probably assume one way or the other, right? Like, yeah, no, like just because it doesn't get talked about doesn't mean that it's not true. So it'll get viewership, but you're just muddying the waters, right? So stop virtue signaling. Just if you're an ally, get rid of the tag. Be a decent fucking person. Just be welcoming regardless. Like, like you don't. Just let them have it, man. Like.
I mean, yeah, for somebody who is a part of the community, it's like I would like to assume that everybody is an ally unless they prove otherwise.
Yeah, That's how it should be.
That's how it should be, because it's just common fucking human decency. I would assume that you're not a piece of shit until you basically show me that you're a piece of shit, and then I stop coming by, kind of thing. Yeah. So you don't need it in there if you're like fucking an ally. This should be just assumed because it's common decency. So yeah, I would also like to ask people to please not use that tag if you are an ally, because it's a little confusing for people who do want to go and find somebody specifically in that tag that is, trying to pass their community and like raid somebody that's of similar community to them.
Yeah, no, of course. Like people who've experienced similar things in life, or who have gone through hardships, or where you can find comfort, or like a lot of different reasons why one wants to resonate with such a community. And again, if you're an ally, and obviously it's not going to be plastered anywhere else, right? It's not going to, if you have the tag and I open the stream, it's not going to say on screen, by the way, I'm just an ally, right? It's not going to be a thing. So people are going to assume, and like, again, you're taking away from the community. I would say that goes for any community, right? Like, maybe not a relevant example. I don't think this is an issue at all. Like, I'm half Serbian, but I consider myself Dutch first and foremost, right? Like, I grew up Serbian, but I live in the Netherlands. I grew up here, even though culturally I grew up different. Mm-hmm. I would never consider using a Serbian tag if it ever would exist, because it's not proper. Like, I'm not streaming from there. I don't stream in Serbian. Sometimes I do, I guess, for a couple minutes.
For 2 minutes exactly. 2 minutes exactly.
So in that sense, right? Like, I'm just repping for the sake of saying, like, oh, look at me, kind of situation. Like, I don't know, just stick to the tags that are relevant at the time. If being an ally is such an important identity for you, like part of it, find a more tactful way to incorporate it, like put it in your rules, put it as a banner,
put it in your about section.
Exactly, right.
Put it in your about section and say part of your rules that, like, anything homophobic will not be tolerated in chat.
Exactly.
And I very clearly put my orientation in my about section. So, and then I use the tag because, I'm a part of that community, but it's just like, it's very easy. And then in that way, like, people just know, and then you can say that you're an ally and this is like a safe space for people of that community. And you can put that in your about section. But like, when you use the tag, it's misleading. It's misleading as fuck. I don't like it.
It just muddies the waters to find what you're looking for, right? Because especially from like a rating perspective, we don't always have the time to fucking vet everybody and spend minutes checking out every stream before we decide on a raid. Sometimes it's just like, listen, I'm fucking tired. I'm just going to raid this person because I like their title, or because, they have these tags. I'm just going to shoot in the dark and hope, it's a stream that lines up with mine. Yeah. And then, then if it then turns out that, like, let's say for the sake of argument, you do that 6 times in a row, and 6 times you raid somebody that uses a tag because they're an ally and nothing else, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, It
makes me not want to search by that tag anymore. And also, like, and it also just really sucks too, because it's like, using that tag too, and then you start streaming and just chatting, you get so many fucking trolls. You get so many people that come in, like, specifically me. Like, I'm just going to use myself as an example because, I can. I'll use that tag and people will come in and they'll be like, oh, but are you a boy or are you a girl? Did you start off as a girl? And like, they'll ask me like dumb questions like that. And I'm just like,
fucking Professor Oak turning up, bro.
Yeah. It's just like, it's just so fucking stupid. And it's just like, I don't know. And especially, I don't know, for me, like specifically too, it's like during Pride Month, like, try to just, I understand that you want to say that you're an ally, but like during Pride Month, like, come on, like,
yeah,
I mean, the only time we get to celebrate ourselves. Come on, man. Just
it's like, if anything, just put it in your title. Like, again, if it's that important to you, if you consider it something that should be advertised, because again, like, it might be a cultural difference. Like, I think it's just normal base human decency. Like, it doesn't matter to me, right? You're just another human being to me, regardless of your orientation or gender. It doesn't matter, right?
Exactly. It's the baseline. It is the baseline. Having common decency is a baseline. Everybody should be a fucking ally unless they prove not. So using it for allyship doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah, I think
that's my fucking hot take. Take that shit out of your fucking tags if you're not a fucking part of that community. God damn it.
I agree.
And I'm not gatekeeping. Like, it just should be assumed that you're an ally unless you prove that otherwise that you're not.
Yeah. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So don't do it. And it applies to other tags that we won't get into because we didn't do our research. So if we just ended at this one tag passionately, we'll look a lot smarter.
Yes, because this one I know for sure gets used for specifically allyship when it's causing actual issues with people that are part of the community, where it's just stop it. It's very easy. It's just tag, get rid of it if you're an ally. Be an ally in any other way. Be an ally by making it easier to find people a part of that community to find each other.
You go.
Thanks for coming to my fucking TED Talk.
But yeah, I think on that, I won't even call it spicy, but on that more energetic note, that's going to be it for us from this week. Yeah.
Thanks for being here. And I wouldn't even say that's a hot take. That's a fucking cold take.
Exactly. Like that's normal. Like, fuck it.
Yeah. That's a sweet Southern tea.
Yeah.
On a hot day.
If you like what we do, remember to like, subscribe, hit the little bell. I guess leave a comment. Like, are you do you use a tag? And have you noticed that people, use it for wrong intentions, or have abused it to get viewerships, even though that's not what the tag is intended for? Let us know in the comments.
I would hope not. I mean, I just think that a lot of people just use it because they think that they're doing the right thing by using it, but really it's kind of slowly becoming detrimental.
Yeah, but there's so many tags, so like maybe there's more cases like this, and if it affects you personally, do let us know. Like, I'm interested to hear about it.
Yeah, let us talk. One gay amano to another.
I, as the cis white guy, we'll just spectate.
We'll spectate.
Just chime in every once in a while, like, yeah, that's good.
Seems cool, dude.
But again, check out our streams in the description below. We'll be signing off for this week. I'm your host, Milan, and my lovely co-host,
Kelly. Stay gay, do crimes.
Yes. See you next week.
Deuces.
Bye.